Second time this season, it's Desiree Wilson who's taken pole position. As was the case when she did so in Sakir, the front row has been annexed by Scuderia Scribante, making a change from Tekno's usual qualifying dominance. But they're not far behind. Ignazio Giunti takes third ahead of Jean-Pierre Giusseau in an all-Tekno second row, and with a good performance from Johnny Cicotto putting him fifth ahead of Edge Elg. Chico Serra goes from seventh, the championship leader, and he's joined by Roberto Guerrero, who normally goes well at Silverstone. Stefan Beloff goes from ninth ahead of Mark Sura, making it 5 teams in the top 10. Outside the top 10, it is Martin Ravenstuck, rather surprisingly, who leads the way for Aston Martin, ahead of the top driver from Britain here at Silverstone, Nigel Mansell, who is ahead of Bruno Giacomelli. Once again, Jeff Lees is ahead of Satoru Nakajima, which is a surprise given Nakajima's experience in the category. And the grid is rounded out by another Briton, Johnny Adam.
Indeed. So a minute left until the start. What is obviously round 7, isn't it? Pretty sure.
Yes, I think it is.
I think it is incorrectly labelled on the stream because I've completely forgot about the events. Well, we'll forget about all that. Yes. I presume it was reviewed by people, but obviously that race has been. Last week's one, which was an abomination, has been struck from the records, so that's no longer part of the championship. So it is round 7 of now. How many races? 13. 13 races because we've already lost another one this season. That was backing. But anyway, we'll get on with the events of today and a home race for quite a few people. But as you said, going through the grid, most of them in the bottom half of the field at the moment from this grid. Anyway, 5 lights ahead of us now for the British round, the Silverstone round of Star this season. And we're off and under as Wilson remains from pole position, just so passing his teammate Giunti and Elg up into 5th. Guerrero up behind Cicotto now in 7th, and Beloff past Serra, but otherwise not much change.
No, I think we're basically just going to see a big pack race for a while, and then it might thin out. So basically, it's all going 3 wide. It is a pack race in essence, but Wilson still leads as they are basically going 3 wide. And Charlton now leads, but I think that's just the way the timing loop's being monitored. No, Charlton has got a bit of a run onto the old pit straight and does lead quite comfortably now.
Yep. And that's mostly because the pressure just so is under from Wilson. He just got round the inside and just went off up to the old part of the start-finish straight. As Charlton for a brief second goes inside the ground. It's just some of the physics on this game is still appalling. But anyway, otherwise, it's remained as a pretty consistent top 10, although Elg is now into 4th past Giunti. So Giunti down a few positions from his, but only briefly because Giunti's back past him on the outside of Stowe.
Yeah, but Elg will have the inside through the final corner, which should do him well. And he does get back ahead as they cross the line. Charlton then leading, as he did actually in Sakir when he started alongside Wilson on the front row.
He's got quite a good lead
the early
as well.
part of that race.
Based on last lap, he should get an even better lead. Although this time I don't think Giusseau's got as much pressure behind him with Desiree Wilson. I expect Desiree Wilson will end up falling behind, although she does have a habit of getting these results out of nowhere, as she's really slow into that section, because it's not like Cicotto boosted that much, if he did at all. I think he did a bit, but she just fell behind relative to relative to Giusseau, and then Cicotto now passed her into Cops and into the Maggotts and Beckett section. It seems like Charlton will not get away from everyone else behind him, so it will be a massive pack race. As Giusseau uses his boost at a rather silly time to get ahead of Charlton, although it's not going to do too much to his race, I suppose.
They are literally just going in formation of 3x3 down the straight.
Yeah.
It is just ludicrous that it has been constructed in a way that that's how it happens. There is wheel-to-wheel racing, and then there's Scalextrics on 3 paths, which is what
Mansell
this
to
is.
the top 10 then, so past Serra, who's fallen down. Seems a bit of an odds of
Yeah,
this race at the moment compared to the season. Just so doing better than Ginty in terms of recent races, and Beloff doing better than Sarah in terms of recent races. Sarah's the one who's won back-to-back races based on the races that count this season.
yeah. Sarah has won back-to-back races and is the championship leader, but
Well,
Charlton
11
then
points,
still
isn't it?
leads.
Yep.
Yep, thanks to Gisot. Asura now passes Belos. It's not looking great at the moment for Project 4.
Chicotto, though.
But
he's looking good.
Yeah.
And that's rather a surprise considering, well, Guerrero's not far behind, but he's usually the one who is best here. But I imagine as the race progresses, he might get into a position of authority over his teammate. As Beloff continues to battle with Schur and is finding it difficult to stay ahead of the Maurer car, although they're quite a bit ahead of both Marchers and his teammate. Not enough, of course.
Yeah, we might see Chicotto go to the lead here.
And indeed
Charlton veers across the track.
Gisot's trying to get on the outside into Stowe, but it's not going to work. And there are the two lucky strikes now, third and fourth. Wilson passed and
Someone
on the
uses boost, but I can't see who it is.
I think it was Wilson, and she got...
Must have been out.
Yeah, it was also Wilson as well, and she got bulked up behind both Gisot and Chicotto, but nowhere to get past, so that was a waste, really. Although there's not really much use to boost in this sort of racing. Doesn't really do a lot for you. Elk back to fourth. Mansell in the top
It is not a
10
fantastic
again.
spectacle.
No, not at the moment. It's just too random. The number of people who are here are all done, most of them have done reasonably well this season, so it's not new faces every race or whatever.
Well, everyone's done reasonably well this season because it's just a lottery. Everyone's got a decent haul of points somewhere.
No, but a lot of others have done better. Let's say, apart from Sarah, we've got Gisot, we've got Beloff in the top 10 again. We've got Ginty here again. He's done well this season. The only one who isn't here there is Giacomelli, really. He's on the outside of it. It's familiar faces, but they're all just... You don't know who's going to be at the top of it in the end. That's the problem. Because it's just too random.
Well, Gisot goes to the lead.
And Chicotto down to fourth.
Looking to reclaim.
Elg needs
looking to reclaim the championship lead.
I would say he's the familiar face this season who's got absolutely nothing out of it. He's got 2 fourth places, but otherwise it's been just non-scores. I think he had a 10th in the first race, but otherwise it's been unfortunate for him in a lot of cases, obviously, last week.
It's been a very odd season, very strange, yes.
Now Ginty down to 8th, so he's falling down. Sarah passed his teammate now, finally. Again.
Back ahead. Having started ahead.
Yeah.
Reclaiming that lead.
Wilson struggling relative to Gisot, but it's just not going to matter. She also closes up in that part of the track as well. It's just terrible. She's under pressure from Chicotto, though, into the inside of Copse here. What I hate about this track is the fact it hasn't got the old pit lane on it. They just removed it. That's one thing I hate about the
Well, Gisot leads, and he's getting a bit of a gap.
And it's a question of who's going to be up behind him once they get past. Well, ahead of him, actually, because Chicotto's now ahead of Wilson again. And Gisot will go down to just 3rd place. I thought he might have been behind Charlton as well, but in fact not, as Chicotto and Wilson continue to fight over 1st place here. Someone's boosting in the middle of the pack here. I don't know who it is, though. I think it's Ginty. And it is indeed. He's trying to get past people. It's just doesn't. It's not going to work. There's too many cars in the way. He's only got, what, 1 extra position and already lost it because now Schur is on the boost. And he's just going to get stuck. Didn't even use it for that long. This is just a total mess. Here we go again then. It's just...
Yeah, that's what it's been. The game has been reduced to. Yeah. With the
this is the this is the worst it's been, I would say, so far, based on an early part of the race. I can't believe we've had this, and then yet we had the update at Bahrain, didn't we? And it was reasonably fine. Yeah,
and the first race we had.
That said, that's a track that, to be fair, that said, that is a track where you do get a lot of, and it was also obviously earlier in the season, but it is a track where you get a bit of field spread. I can't imagine what it would be like in Singapore, despite the fact this update is in the game now. But anyway, Wilson 2nd up behind Chicotto and Gisot. They seem to be a bit quicker than everyone else behind, but it's just irrelevant, really. As Guerrero's now starting to seem a bit more impressive, and has passed his teammate for the first time. briefly past Charlton, who gets past him again. He's fighting for third place.
Yeah, a little bit of a mess. Giunti down 12th now.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how that's happened. Well, I think people just use boost, didn't they? And he used it at the wrong time.
Yeah, it is just one big mess.
Yeah. Beloff is struggling.
It is just a pack race, but without the excitement of actual oval racing.
No, and Jeff Lees is now in the top 10 as well. That's just bizarre. That's happened a lot recently.
It's an oval pack race without any excitement.
That said, I think it's an indictment on how rather average Nakajima is.
Yeah.
Although Lees hasn't yet got the result. Well, he got 10th in the last race we ran at Catalonia, but obviously it's not yet.
That was.
And Nakajima himself, well, I think was second in that, so that was his best performance.
Yes, he was on the podium.
But otherwise, I think in the races so far, Lees has looked as impressive, if not better. But anyway, Wilson will be into first place. Guerrero will be second. I think Chicotto and Charlton will both pass Jussot as well, so he'll be down to fifth. Nope, just fourth. Chicotto doesn't get past, and Jussot's back into third as Shearer pits on lap at the end of lap 7, along with Beloff and Giunti. Good news for someone like Adam, maybe. Although he's actually now behind.
Now that's the thing. As soon as people pit to whatever reason to mitigate the undercut, all of the other AI just use their boost and the field strings out.
Yeah, because now
seemingly no good reason.
Yeah, I know, because now Jussot is
there is no undercut.
Yeah, I know. Jussot, who was the one who was on the end of the DRS train, is now far behind the places he was fighting for. It's just screwed him over. He's probably going to be behind Giunti quite considerably as well.
And Guerrero's used no boost, but is still fourth.
Oh god, there's Guerrero going inside the ground again. Yeah, it's just silly. It's just stupid, but obviously the boost situation can be fixed, but nothing else can. Not at the moment, not at present anyway. I hope it will be. Obviously, we'll be able to remove it eventually, as once that update comes in. But
anyway, Guerrero's about to lose a lot of places because he hasn't used any boost.
How far behind are these cars then? Shearer's the one who's in the lead. He's 20. I need to see the next sector though, really. I don't think there's really much point in seeing the front of the fight. So, of course, Jussot, Guerrero, Elg, Serra, Adam, Giacomelli all pit. They're about 23 seconds off the lead then, which is the cars.
Yeah, the guys who pitted are much quicker, but it's whether it's enough.
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah. I feel a bit sorry for these guys here who've just stopped. Guerrero, who was at the lead of it, I think.
Pit stop by Guerrero to get at the head of that group, having just lost it with the DRS.
Yeah, they're going to be behind.
So, Beloff is ahead at the moment.
Although they're in the same
and remains
group,
so.
Yeah. Didn't actually lose as much time as I thought they would, but still. They're probably obviously not going to gain a lot on the group that are staying out, though. That's the thing. It's at the front, Chicotto and Charlton and Wilson. So one of these Lucky Strikes is going to go quite a bit, and Supernova as well. We're going to go an extra lap. To the end of lap 10 then, presumably. Have we had any problems in the pit lane? I don't think we have we? No, it seems like it's fine. I
think Guerrero just used some of his boost, but not enough, and he's just boxed in with the two Technos.
Yeah, it's just
Beloff is
pitiful trying to use
having a good run.
So Ravenstuk and Mansell are the only ones in, so all these cars are going much longer. Rather interesting. I know it will spread the field out, but it's also quite unfair, but anyway. I suppose they can afford it with their presumably decent enough tyre economy. But anyway. Here are all these cars.
Elg on the boost, but not able to go anywhere.
Yeah. No. Where are these? Well, it's rather unimportant, actually. Mansell and Ravenstuk, they're nowhere.
Yeah, Giacomelli's got into this group, but Adam hasn't really.
No, he did use a lot of his boost, though, to be fair. Mansell's not any... He was the higher up of the two marches, but is now multiple seconds behind his teammate. And even quite a bit behind Ravenstuk. He's come out the pit lane and used a bit of his boost to get to the back of his teammate. But these guys continue to talk.
Yeah, the guys Yeah, the guys who've stayed out, Nakajima's in a wrong amount of trouble when it comes to...
Yeah, but he wasn't really one of the ones who was running that high anyway, so that's rather irrelevant. It's
yeah, well, he's miles off the lead.
It was mostly the top four that are of interest. I think if they keep going, obviously they're going to get an advantage in the end, but at the moment they're losing a heck of an amount of time. But they'll hope an offset is enough.
Well, you make one fewer stop.
Yeah, that too.
Make one stop rather than two.
Yes, of course, but
generally one stop. Well, generally it's been better, I think, to do two stops. We've seen Guerrero hold on to wins with much older tyres here previously.
Yeah.
But
now he's basically at the front of that group.
Specialist.
Yeah, he's at the front of that group. That is attempting that again. They're up behind Beloff.
Well, Jeff Lees is just taking lead. I think Lees is really on something here when it comes to having...
Yeah, he's doing good today.
Tyres in the best nick. I think he's got the tyres in the best nick of that group.
Is that the Supernova, though, being really good with its tyres?
Yes, I think probably better than the
other
cars around him. He's going to get freight trained anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Nakajima is on a road to nowhere at the moment. This is just bad for him, but he's going to have to keep going to make it work, obviously. They need equal stints, if not better. But, yeah. Now Lees and Wilson come to the pit lanes. Presumably Nakajima is going to go another lap, obviously, and equal out the stops. So where is Wilson and Lees going to be? Yeah.
Just so goes to the lead of the group that have pitted.
Did Guerrero pass
So's in a very good position today. Wilson's gone into medium, so that would be a disqualification, I think.
Oh. Yeah, well.
She was definitely not set, but anyway.
Will she have an advantage with that, I wonder? She will, won't she? Well,
I think it is disqualification.
Well, obviously at the end of the race, yeah, she's going to be in trouble. But for now, I meant she's going to be a part of the race when she really shouldn't be, is what I mean.
Yeah.
She's going to affect the results on a road, well, on a path to a disqualification, which I don't think is ideal. But there we are.
I don't think if anyone's ever been disqualified from a points position before in either this or the AIC, and I don't think anyone has.
Possibly when we had the rules in AIC and around, what was it, season whatever. Although, to be fair, I think when 5395 did that, they didn't turn up and they weren't running that high, to be fair. And I think it happened with another car. Well, it happened with Ace a lot, but that don't really matter. They were never that high up. Anyway, Charlton and Chikotto in. Nakajima, obviously, as well. He's the last. He's going to be... Yeah, he's getting nothing from this race, let's be honest.
The two former teammates, Guerrero and Beloff, are now going toe-to-toe at the front. So Charlton's gone to mediums as well, so that also wasn't what was set, but it's going to be a double disqualification then.
I feel like it's right then. I wonder how Scuderia Scoravante are going to explain that. Incompetence.
I don't know why when... I don't know why... And Chicotto's doing the same thing.
I don't know why Guerrero is not doing what Giuseppe is doing at the moment to get away from everyone else. Presumably he will in the end, but... Yeah, that's just ridiculous what Giuseppe is doing. I mean, it might work for him, but it's still ridiculous anyway. Guerrero should be doing it.
What we've got anyway is that Lees is now the only one-stopper who's actually a factor in the race.
God, that's a ridiculous amount of boost that Giuseppe's just used. Guerrero should be on it immediately to help both of them get away from this field. But he's not doing it. And now he's going to get... Well, he's not going to get that much freight train, but he's going to be behind at least 2 cars. Maybe... Well, no, probably only 2, but yeah. Anyway, here goes Sarah, who's now doing it. To get ahead of, presumably, his team.
That's going to put Sarah in a good position.
Yeah, it's going to be behind his teammate, isn't he? So... Guerrero actually loses more positions than I thought he would, although still 5th. And now it's fine.
So Beloff's now...
So Guerrero's waited. So Guerrero's waited to use a smidgen amount of boost at the point when he's behind a number of cars, just so smartly.
I suspect...
Oh no, not really smartly. Luckily, used his boost when he was behind only about 2 and got ahead, and it was all in the fast. I suspect
Guerrero intended to use more of the boost, but it automatically shuts off the boost of the AI if they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's such a big pack, it just automatically shuts.
Yeah, well, Giuseppe was behind at least 2 cars, but it was in the right part of the circuit where he could get past them, and then he just used a mass amount. Obviously, he's going to be caught in the end anyway, but yeah, He's in a similar place to Giacomelli, I suppose, apart from on the circuit. But in terms of his boost, he is. Yeah, it's just.
It goes ahead then, helping Beloff.
Yeah, which he doesn't really need to be doing, because he should be in the better position. He's got the younger tyres. Questions of whether Project 4 should just be helping the Sarah now, really. Considering he's been better this season. Well, to be fair. In recent races,
he's got the points.
In recent races, he has definitely been better, but over the course of the season, they've probably been about as good as each other.
Anyway, Giacomelli now goes to 4.
That's the highest he's been in the race for a while, isn't it?
Lead.
Yeah, Monaco.
Well, I think
was it Monaco? Was it?
He was second in Valencia.
I think he was good in Monaco as well. I'm pretty sure that was his back-to-back podiums.
Yeah, I think Valencia.
Yeah. Those were his back-to-back podiums.
Not in Catalonia.
No, he was outside the points there, but that was a rather weird race. Anyway, so how are they doing? Well, anyone who's now doing the one is what? The two.
Lees is the only one who's an actual factor of the one-stoppers.
Yeah, and he is 9 seconds off the. No, hold on. Wait, it is going to be about that, isn't it? It's going to be about 9 seconds or so.
And Nakajima's nowhere.
Yeah, well, that's expected though. So Lees is now well. We'll see how he does on his tyres at the end, of course, because they're all going to be much quicker. You would expect, but he's basically in the same pack because they're all too close together, really. Just so the only one with a massive gap over anyone, really. You can see Lees in the background. They're basically nearly within the same complex of corners.
Right. We should be seeing Beloff, Sierra, and Giunti in this lap based on when they made their first stop. If they don't pit this lap, it means that the same.
I think you would notice based on the tyre thing. I think because it usually corrupts itself.
Yep.
Yeah, it usually.
So it would know it's corrupted itself anyway, but it hasn't affected the stint length.
It hasn't
so
for me.
Fine.
It hasn't for me. It's It's correct for me. It's usually when it is that it is a problem, as in the numbers are inside the other number.
It's shown as 6 rather than 7 when it should be. Anyway,
I think. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, the 6 for these cars. Lap 6. Oh, I think that's just because of the way it's displayed on this.
Yeah, well, they pit on lap 7. But anyway, just so leads comfortably from Guerrero by 3 seconds, but Guerrero was a second faster on that last lap and is hunting down Frenchman. The guys who rejoined from the pits are basically right behind Satoru Nakajima.
Yeah, and Guerrero's still got his boost to use as well. Wonder when he will. He should do now. If I was him, I would do it now, but it's too late now. He won't get up behind him with DRS. So he's just going to be passed, presumably by at least one car.
Wilson.
Now, yes, Wilson's now here, which is just annoying. I mean, there's not much you can do about it apart from jumping onto the account and putting them on wet tyres to the end, but that's probably just as bad, actually, really. You can't take them out of the race, obviously, because you can't just retire them manually. That would actually be a good thing for the game, but I don't imagine that will ever be done, because it will probably be seen as a potentially abusive thing that could be done. But it should
anyway. Beloff, I think, is going to be leading this race once Gisot comes out from his pit stop.
Let's see.
He's just cleared Nakajima.
I mean, they were about a similar gap in front of the guys who they ended up back with. So I'm not sure on that yet. I think Gisot might just be behind Beloff, but it won't be much. So. Okay, he's actually quite a bit behind. He'll get up behind Nakajima though. Quite comfortably, I would have thought.
Nakajima will be the cork in the bottle there. So the Beloff has escaped at the front. Guerrero's still got all his boost to use.
Well, yeah, he's basically done what Beloff has done, but done it later on, hasn't he, Beloff? And now Gisot's using it again.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, just to get past Nakajima.
Yeah, I've never seen that kind of intellect from an AI's boost, though. Although it's not really much of an intellect.
Is Nakajima going to use his? I'm not sure. Someone's on it. Is that Giacomelli? Yeah,
it won't matter anyway. It won't matter anyway. Either way, Gisot's going to be back in what's going to be the effective lead, I suppose. Because he'll be past Beloff.
Yeah.
And so will Nakajima, briefly, unless Nakajima...
Well, I think, actually, the effective race leader, and I think there's a very good chance of winning this, is Jeff Lees.
Yes, that is true. But, of course, with time to be caught, we'll see.
But I would like to. I find it interesting to see Lees win, but I also really would quite like the medium runners to all not finish in the points on track.
Well, that's your fault, mate. You can pit them right now and put them on wet tyres.
Yeah, I might have to do that. I
told you. Well, I was about to tell you to do that, but I think you're gonna have to do that. I think you're gonna have to do that now and stay on that account to the end. But yeah. Anyway, at the front of the race, they've already affected the race. That's the problem. I'm already getting at. But yeah. You have to do it to Chicato as well, obviously. Just set them on a wet stint to the end.
Yeah, but Chicato will have to be done. Chicato will be more of a problem because Guerrero is not affected.
Yeah, but I would just use his boost at similar times relative to AI. Or use his as a to the relative point at which he is out on boost, because we can't be having this, we can't be having second, because you can't remove drivers from a race, so it will just affect the results.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bug with the game either. Obviously, it's just been accidentally set that way.
It hasn't saved it correctly. I've seen full games.
Yeah.
It clearly hasn't saved it correctly.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah. It looks like Lees is going to win easily. Let's be honest.
No, but at the end of their stint last time, they were losing about 4 seconds a lap.
Yeah, the problem here though is just So and Beloff are not getting far ahead of Nakajima, and now Sarah's part of it again as well. He's using a mass amount of his boost to get up behind you. So Guerrero's just done nothing with his boost. What an idiot! Could use it now when he's in the field.
Right, I'm gonna leave. I've not done anything apart from join and then leave immediately on that. And I have realised that I think it has just completely bugged the stint tyre and the stint.
Well, you could have put them onto the incorrect tyres, but sure, you're now going to.
Well, they're just pitting. They're just pitting again. They're going to go on some mediums again.
Well, they're just right,
aren't they?
So presumably they're just going to be. Yeah, but you can change the tyre.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that was well. Anyway,
they're just going to get back into. They're just going to get back into the top 10 again, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right. Well, it's a four-way fight for this apart from Lees at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Lees is the only one who is on merit doing anything correctly at the moment, and he would have won the race anyway. Well, depending on how much time they're now going to get, which I don't think is going to be a lot. I don't think it's going to be a lot at all. No, of course it has been affected. You've got second and third. You've got Chicago and Charlton. I know they'll pit again, but they'll get back up there. Potentially. Yeah. Well, Wilson is literally on the back of that group that includes the point scorers almost immediately. So, as long as she's quick enough, then she should get back into it by the end. Especially with the tyre die-off at the end. Anyway, here we go. Is someone using boost somewhere in that field? Is it Nakajima? Don't know. Looked like someone was doing it in the fight from 4th to 7th. Chicago now in. Yes, well. Yeah, Lee should be fine, I think. Unless he's lost a lot this lap. He's lost about a second. We'll see, though. See if it gets more and more. Well, based on the last laps, to be fair, it's more than that, but... I think that's just because of what's been happening on track. The relative lead only went down by about a second. So Nakajima is now on for a result as well. Didn't seem like it was. It seemed like he was about 21 seconds behind the lead and was going to be outside the top 10 probably. But yeah, Wilson's slowly getting there. Which might not in the end though. Chicago might though. Because he's going to have DRS up behind the South Africans. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So Beloff at the front now of this group chasing the British driver Jeff Lees. And just so now into second. How much time have these three drivers got left? Nakajima now dying massively. That's mostly because, to be fair, Guerrero's now using his boost. Finally using his boost to get to the front of this field here. He's going to be at the front of it. Although he might get blocked by all these cars, to be fair. He's just stopped using it. Yeah, stupid from Guerrero, because he could have done that so long ago and got away with both him and Jusso, and they would have been clear. They would have been chasing down Lees quickly. Lees, this is a game of time now because it's running out for him. Elg now here as well, of course, is going to go to the front of this. So he's the one who could, with his boost, get far ahead, and he's now trying to get ahead of Jusso easily, and has done. So now Jusso's going to be in trouble, and Elg's going to be chasing Lees. So Sarah's going to be at the front of the group by the end of next lap. And now Junti as well, so he's following. So they're now all back together, basically. Seems we have an issue with the commentary. Just here goes Jusso. What was he doing there? God knows. It's just
helped. Oh, they are catching Lees, but I don't think it's going to be. They might just get him
on
the last lap.
Yeah, I think they will actually. To be fair, now I think the time loss is getting more and more, and Jusso especially will probably get him. But of course, he's got a bit of boost left for himself. That looks more like 2 seconds though. It's very weird.
Right, someone's on this, and Sura's now dumping as much.
Yeah,
boost
everyone's.
He doesn't dump.
Yeah, everyone's doing it, but because they're in different positions and they're doing it on different parts of the track, it's less successful for others and let them more successful for others.
Yeah, and then they stop when they get locked in behind another car.
Guerrero got locked up behind the 2 Project 4s, but for some reason Elg didn't, presumably because he did it on this part of the circuit and it was just the right part, it was slow enough, I don't know, it's just very weird. Anyway, Jusso is almost behind Lees. He might actually catch him and get DRS before. Yeah, I think he will. I think you can take half a second out in this sector. Question is, will Lees react? Obviously, based on the previous boosting model, he will.
Guerrero passes Beloff.
Although he might not
actually.
Going to
have DRS.
He looked like he went a bit wide into that part of the track. How far is he? No, he is in DRS. So, unless El can do anything, I think Jusso is going to win or Lees if he uses his boost. But he might just get stuck up behind.
I don't think Lees has anything. I don't think Lees has anything to offer.
He's using it now, but he's just going to be slow, isn't he? It's just going to help Jusso, potentially.
He's just going to get passed again with DRS.
Yeah, it'll probably just help Jusso, if anything. I think Jusso
Guerrero
should
needs
win.
to use his boost, but he's not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not doing it. He might just at the end, but it might not be enough. That's the thing, because he'll get stuck up behind other cars again. Because he'll use it in the wrong part of the circuit, and he'll be stuck up behind Sarah and Elg, I bet you. But anyway, Jusso should win this race. But Lees is going to get a podium, I think. I don't think there's enough time
second
to lose. So he almost did win this race. So it was really Jusso using the boost at the right part of the circuit. That's won him the race, and the only reason why Lees has been beaten today. It's just silly, though. Although, if Jusso passes Lees, it could give Lees... Well, we'll see now.
He does pass him.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he's quick enough just based on the corners once Lee gets past. That's the thing. I don't think he will be.
Beloff now on the boost. So it's Guerrero who's going to be.
Oh, Lees is stuck up behind.
Here.
But he's got past. But will he get past into the final part? Yeah, he will. Unfortunately. I think that was him being held up a bit. Here goes. Oh, yeah, Beloff on the boost. Will he get past and into the lead? I think he might. He does. He'll cross the line and wins the race from Jean-Pierre Jusso. Great regs from Beloff. Great piece of driving, really.
I don't know why Guerrero didn't use his boost.
Fourth, fifth, yeah, Elg fifth. That was a tail today, though, from Guerrero. He didn't use it. He did use it, I think, but just not at the right time, I don't think, at a certain point. Anyway, 7th Mansell, somehow. Ravenstruck in 8th. Junti 9th. 10th Giacomelli. 11th Cicotto. Almost sort of affected the points results, which I said would happen.
Well, he didn't quite. He didn't affect. Yeah, he'll be disqualified anyway.
Yeah, but he did it. To be fair, he did affect other races though. So 12th Sura, along with the Lucky Strikes, which would be obviously disqualified. 13th Adam, 14th Nakajima in the end. 15th Wilson and Charlton 16th. They obviously stopped another time to prevent their existence. And on to hard tyres. That's probably what you should have done immediately. Just put them on hards. But anyway, Wilson 15th and Charlton 16th, and that is that race. Finito.
Oh, Beloff has relaunched his championship campaign with that victory.
Yep, he has.
That win for Project 4, but let's have a look at the championship then.
I think Serra will still be in the lead.
Chico Serra still leads with 100 points over Jean-Pierre Jusso with 95. Beloff is back in contention on 84. Junti still 4th with 53. Then it's Guerrero on 46. Giacomelli on 43. Sura, Nakajima, Mansell, and Chikoto on a three-way tie with 37 apiece. Sorry, four-way tie with 37 apiece. And just outside the top 10 and 11th in points, it's Edge L with 36 points. And Dave Charlton with 30. Martin Ravenshook has 22, extending his advantage over his teammate Johnny Adam, who has 16 points and is tied with Jeff Lee. So actually, Lee's ahead of Adam in 14th and 15th. Desiree Wilson has 14 points. She's 16th. And last in the championship now is Raboiselle, who was in the Supernova before Lee's.
Yeah, indeed.
Teams Championship, Project 4 extend their lead. They have 184 points over Tekken, over 143. Verifade on 83, a long way back. 80 for March, 73 for Maura, 64 for Supernova, 44 for Scribante, and 38 for Aston Martin.
Indeed. So we will be obviously back next weekend for the race at Hockenheim, the German round. Obviously, we're basically a week behind the AIC's running as a result of the update earlier in the season where Bahrain was delayed by the week. But anyway, until then, it is a goodbye from us.